You're listening to Experience, a social commentary by Anubhav. I just watched a video this morning where Joe Biden, the presidential candidate for the Democrats in the US, says, and I quote, "Well, I tell you what, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black." If you haven't heard of it, it's from Charlemagne's The Breakfast Club. Have the Democrats simply been digging their own grave with their choice of Biden? Or are they just trying to lose the election? Or better yet, are they trying to come up with their own version of Donald Trump? This takes us back to Kanye West's statements not too long ago about the Democrat Party in the US taking the black votership for granted. It's almost an assumption that if you're black, you have to vote Democrat. And any black person who isn't a Democrat is somehow less true to their ethnic identity. I think this is the fact that Kanye West was trying to highlight, and he faced his share of social marginalization for it. This run for president of the US seems a little different than most other times. Thanks to COVID-19, only one of the candidates are actually getting to campaign. Trump has the opportunity to use every press briefing or public appearance to subtly signal his presidential campaign, while Biden says he's been sitting at home, following the rules, and wearing a mask. This might inadvertently be giving Trump an edge, although it's not clear if he really needs one. Add to that the fact that Trump has 80.3 million Twitter followers and Biden only has 5.5 million, the odds don't really look like they're favoring the Democrats at this point. As several studies have timelessly established, people vote based on their temperament. Although we might all like to think of ourselves as logical, it seems that barely factors in when it comes to voting. These studies find that people who are higher in conscientiousness and extroversion are more likely to vote for the right-wing candidate, and those higher in neuroticism and openness are more likely to vote for the left-wing candidate. This implies that voting habits hinge more on who the voter is than who the candidate is. Is this perhaps a peril of the two-party system, or can we really blame the two-party system for it? Can it be inferred that it is because of this that the Democrats have decided to take the less logical route this time? Biden claims that all the polls greatly favor him. Is this Hillary all over again? When until the declaration of the results, all polls were actually to her favor until she wasn't declared the president. Or is he simply saying so to inspire confidence in the electorate? A lot of blue state voters also seem shaky about his candidacy. Gallup's recent polls confirm Trump's approval ratings are at an all-time high as of 14th May, sitting at 94% among Republican voters and 49% overall. Though his foreign policies aren't received very well by most of the world, his electorate seems fairly loyal to him. Americans' confidence in the economy is higher than at any point in the past 2 decades, with 66% Americans saying he's doing a good job. Similarly, national satisfaction is at the highest in nearly 15 years. Will this manifest into another win for Trump? Will the classical excuse of his opposition was weak still prevail? The failure of the opposition in the US raises a very important non-partisan question that applies to all democratic countries, not just the US. Is anyone really benefiting from their party rising too far above the others? Doesn't democracy equally depend on the competence of the opposition? Perhaps that's an issue that won't haunt the US just yet, considering that their powers are fairly evenly divided. It still is as partisan as it has ever been there. So much so that most Democrats who are looking for a relationship would not consider dating a Trump voter. Why should Indians care about Trump? It appears that they already do. 56% of Indian people have had confidence in Trump's ability to do the right thing. Most Indians also frown upon Chinese influence in the Indian economy in comparison to the US. Thanks to COVID-19, these numbers have only soared. What do you think about Trump? What do you think about India's response to Trump? Do you think Biden has a chance? Do you think I'm missing out on anything? I would love to hear from you on the above issues on my YouTube and on my Instagram. I'm hoping that facilitates healthy discourse and that we are able to more exhaustively cover this issue and many more. Thank you.